Do 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 do. Okay. We're doing this again. We're sharpening live on a Saturday morning. You guys keep me motivated to keep on wanting to sharpen. So I got some mail. So I ran out of knives to sharpen the other day because I got in my groove and I didn't advertise it a lot. And I ran out of stuff to sharpen. So now I got knives are starting to come in again. So now we're gonna go through the mail, see what we got. We're gonna sharpen this knife at least. I think I know what this one is. But I'll show you guys what comes in and how we tackle new things. Sweet. This is my official. I think this knife's actually really dull. But this is my official package opening knife. I leave this knife on my desk, and it's the knife this is my actual, I don't care if it gets dirty whatsoever. R&H I had this knife made for my former construction company I worked at, and I have no use for it. So it opens packages wonderfully. It is a old style of native. So this is the way natives used to be built. New natives don't have steel liners. This one is an old school steel liner native from like 2000, before 2017, I think is when they switched. So these old ones are really nice. They're really stout. They feel a lot heavier than the new ones, but in a good way. See what we got here. We got Facebook user. What up, G-Man? Hi, Carl. So this is my package opening knife. I think it's actually dull. We're going to find out how dull my own knife that I use is. It's probably dull. We'll put it on the sharpening list. It's not as bad as I thought, but it's not good. Anyway, so first package. Let's see what we got here. I'm just talking to this fella, and I think he's going to be joining us while we watch it live. So this is how I track stuff when it comes in. So if you send me a knife, I write the date on the package, and then I set it on over there. I have a big rack that's got packages on it, and I just go through it, and I grab the next date, and that's how my queue works. That's how you get in line. So this is how caught up I am. This came in yesterday, and I am already doing it. So I'm pretty caught up. So we have ProTech, looks like. I like me some ProTechs. They're really good knives. This guy is all wrapped up. Okay. Ooh, we have a nice looking Malibu. Okay. So put all this wrappings back in the box so I don't lose it or misplace it. What we got here is, oh wow, this is a nice one. A Malibu with a polished blade. How cool is that? That's really nice. So we're gonna put a mirror edge on it next to the polished blade, it looks like. Wow, this is a cool one. I like this one. Good knife. This is always on my list of non-Spidey's recommend, but this is a cool one with this polished blade. Okay, first step. I'm going to protect the knife. We're going to use electrical tape on this one, and we're going to use some chamois cloth for the grips. First thing we're going to do is put it in the clamp. Some chamois cloth. This is a little piece of leather I use. It goes over the blade. I'm going to clamp it. So we're going to line this. So it's about equal distance from the tip to here as it is from the heel to here. So just in the middle. We want the edge to be pretty much as it's sitting now. parallel to the jaws. So it's good. Straight edge, this will be pretty easy. Now we're tightening it down. Okay. I like scissors. Scissors are cool. I know that sounds like a dumb thing, but I have as many scissors sitting around the house, random places. I do random extra knives. These are good scissors. I like Fiskars stuff. These are the fancy Fiskars, and they actually work really well. They sound kind of cool too, but they're so tight. But they work well. So we're going to tape off everywhere we do not want a stone to touch that I could possibly touch. I don't tape the faces of my blades. I use stop collars so we don't have that issue, hopefully, that we're ever going to need tape face blades for, but that just kind of creates a big mess. So we're putting tape all the way right to the end of the edge. So like if I do go past the end of the edge, it's not going to touch anything by accident. On the face of the handle, on the ricasso, just so it gives me a bumper. So I mean, I will hit this probably. Like it's just a matter of, especially on this knife, the end of the edge is so close to touching the handle that, yeah, that wouldn't be very fun to sharpen without protecting it, because you get really close to it. So use good electrical tape. Good electrical tape costs like $3. This is, get like 3M brand or Scotch brand. Don't get Harbor Freight brand electrical tape because it doesn't stick. I know you get like 20 rolls for $6, but like spend $3 on one roll and it'll actually stick to stuff, and it cuts easier too. Okay, we're going to start off with 150 stone. We're using, as usual, half stone premium CBNs. Thick, heavy duty, metallic bonded CBN stones. Okay, take our marker. Okay, if my memory serves me, I think these are 20-degree edges, typically from the factory, but we're going to find out. So we got our angle cube is somewhere around here. Kind of need that. Don't need it, but I like to have it. Where did it go? I'll have to estimate where I put it. It's hiding somewhere. There it is. Okay, we zero it out on the rod. This is how you check your angle. So I zero it on the stone holder. And then I set this on the arm. And so right now we're at 19 degrees. If I remember, I think Protex are around 20 from the factory. So we drop it to 20. And now we're going to check to see if that's how close that is. Looks like 20 degrees is a little bit too low for a Protex. So now we just start dropping it. Quite a bit lower, more around 24. See where we're at now. We're around 25 degrees. That's pretty low. So let's check the other side. Pretty high. Well, I guess this is just a pretty steep edge. Okay. Damn, you get that mail. You get it. Okay. So this ProTech has a fairly steep edge. And we're going to match the bevel. I'm just making sure this is the best fit for the edge right now. Lines up pretty nicely. Yep, there we go. Almost a little bit too low still on the heel. So this is the most important part of when you're sharpening a knife, honestly. Usually I just blow past it because Spyderco's are pretty standardized at 17 degrees. But getting the right angle to sharpen at will change your world. If you're having problem sharpening, take some time and get the right angle of the existing bevel. Because if you don't, you'll be sharpening too much material off and it'll take forever before you actually get anything done, or it'll look like crap. So right now I'm really trying to make sure I get the best possible angle to average out any of the issues this edge has, which has got some at the heel. They're going to be a little extra work, but I think we're going to go here. It's actually pretty steep. It's at it's really steep. It's at 28 degrees. This is a steep edge, but that's what it's at. Yeah, looks like a good edge. So now let's Sharpie one more last time. Now we're sharpening. So we have a little bit of tip area that is at a steeper angle than the rest of the edge. So we have to re-profile the tip without hurting it. So we're just going lightly, trying not to roll over the end. Oh, we need to check this. I'm going to back this off. This back bumper stock is kind of fun. It's not necessary, but it makes it so you can sharpen pretty quickly without pulling a stone off the end of the blade. This isn't as important as the stop collar is, and this one's got a spring on it, so it kind of like bounces you off when you hit the end of the stone. Okay, looks like our tip is good. We should be close enough to the angle that we're apexing at. We have some repair work to do at the heel because the heel is at a different angle than the rest of the edge. You have to kind of take away some of the heel and clean it up. Okay, first pass. Looks like we have a burr. Hell yeah, get it. So what you got here? So if I'm wanting to find the stock angle on a never been sharpened blade, it's best to mark the edge, use an angle cube, and adjust the angle until the Sharpie is removed. Only reason I actually use an angle cube is just for a reference point, so I know when I have to go back and reclamp them where it was at. But Sharpie will tell you what the answer is. So like this edge is steep. I only sharpened a few Protex, but this edge is steeper than a Spyderco. So I wouldn't have known that just using the angle cube. I had to use a Sharpie because it's just an unfamiliar brand to me. So that's just where they are, how you find out what they are. This is a good starting point. So when I do Spyderco, I will set it to 17 degrees. And usually it's close. And if it's not perfect, I'll still usually sharpen at 17 degrees because that's where Spydercos just are. And I can repeat that and do it every time over and over again. But on another knife, you just don't want to take away unnecessary metal. So finding the best degree will save you a ton of time. This will be a quick edge because we already have a burr, but it took a while to find the best angle to like sharpen it at. So this edge is looking pretty good. It's all even and symmetrical. So now that we're at the right angle, we should be creating a burr. A burr is when your bevel is at the exact same angle as the stone. It just kind of curls the edge over. That's called the burr. If you're not creating a burr, you're not sharpening. A burr is at the apex. Apex is the very tip of the edge. So we're going pretty good. This is going to be a simple sharpening. Got a burr. I'm checking for a burr on the bottom of it with my fingernail. And the hard part was the heel. The heel is all good. That wasn't hard at all. It's just like it was. It looks great. Okay, let's do a couple more passes on this side just real quick. Line up the scratches. Light pressure. Make sure the tip is good to go. We're going to do another pass at 150 on this side. We're just going to do 2 passes. This will be a quick one. This is just to make sure if there's any little tidbits of extra fun stuff in this. Just hits them. Gives them a chance to look at any imperfections I might have going on. Make sure the tip is good. Should have a burr. Work this spot a little bit. This looks like it's not a straight bevel as much, so much. So now, right here, I'm just noticing the factory angles. This kind of has like a little dip in the edge. So I'm just working a little bit to kind of make sure it looks like it blends in better. There we go. Okay. Done with this stone. .400 grit CBN. This 400 grit stone takes a coarse edge and turns it into a beautiful, sharp satin, really sharp as hell cutting edge. I really like the stone. I really like all these stones, but the 400 and the 150 are amazing. So now we're just reducing the burr. And polishing it. Being careful at the heel. Trying to line up scratches, make everything look uniform and flush. I usually do 2 passes at 400 grit, but they're less than 150. Every stone I do less on, it seems, worked out well. Now the second pass, we'll start to see some of the fur crumble off. It looks good. .800 grit. And this stone, 800 grit, starts to make it kind of shiny. It's a nice matte shiny though. It's not super reflective, but it does kind of twinkle a little bit. Looks nice. This is where I usually stop my knives, and this is where I stop my satin edges. When my $25 edge is this through this stone. And it looks nice, and it's really sharp. Okay, we're gonna check the edge, make sure we got it all. We're just doing one pass on this stone. $2,000 grit. Let's see what's got going on over here. We've got Mailman EDC still listening to us. That's awesome. I enjoy doing it live because it makes me actually do it. Because I like being on film. I like sharpening, but this actually makes me get off my ass and do something. So now we're just polishing it up, making it at this level at 2000 grit. It's mirrorable with the strop. It looks pretty much perfect. But we take it up to 5000 grit just for fun. So now we're just polishing it up to an extra shiny mirror. Okay, we're sharpened. Okay, now let's drop it. And I'll take off this tape. Find the edge. Find it right. There we go. So this has been sharpened to a pretty high grit. So now we're just making sure there's no burr left, which at this high grit there really isn't. Beautiful. This is 3 micron gunny juice. Strop. I like using a paddle strop like this. It's easy to hand strop, I think, because you can feel everything that's going on. Stropping on a machine is easy too, but I just like the feel and the feedback of stropping by hand. Okay, so we have a mirror. We're on a mirror blade. Now we're going to go to 0.5 micron gunny juice. Hi, I saw my phone blowing up. Sorry, I couldn't talk. Ooh, that's a shiny blade. So the best method is you take the blade, and you lay it down, and you lift it up like this, like you increase the angle, as you push into the leather. So like pushing, raising, and they're bit. When the edge bites into the leather, you're at just past the angle. So you just lean back a tiny little bit, and you'll feel it because you'll feel the leather running flat on the bevel. Like it just feels like you'll either feel like it's not right, and then it'll just be flat, and then it quickly you ride the tip, and it feels different too. So that's what I'm doing when I'm hand stropping, is making sure it feels right. Okay, so now we're all done. Clean off the blade. Gunny Glow. This is really good for cleaning off marker and tape residue and all that crap. It gets on your blades. Using a chamois cloth to wipe this clean. Get all the goop, gunk off of it. Get all the Sharpie marker off of it. Take magic eraser. Getting the extra Sharpie off the top of the bevel. Okay, let's see how we did. That is nice. Nice. Now we have an edge to match the blade. Pretty cool. Let's see how sharp it is. Sometimes you get this far and find out that it wasn't sharp though. Oh yeah. Nice and sharp. Cool. So we have a nice sharp knife. Got it all cleaned up. There's a little bit of goobers on the butt end of this one. Make sure our mirror looks nice and mirrory. Make sure we got the whole blade. Just drop it a little bit more at the heel to polish up a little bit more on this side. Heels are hard to get to be as shiny as the rest of the edge, so you have to pay closer attention to them. And give them more love and care. There we go. Now we shiny. Steel, I've had issue sharpening. Maximate sucks to sharpen. It just does. It's the hardest freaking steel ever. So it sucks to sharpen in that regard. With good stones, it's not hard, but it can have brittle, chippy edges and fall apart. So I've had issues with Maximate crumbling, but really not. I don't know. With good stones, I've gotten pretty accustomed to like. I almost don't care what steel something is that's going into the sharpener. Like if it's VG10 versus Maxima, I'll care. But like S30V versus an M4 blade, it doesn't. It's just another knife. It takes me just as long. So I don't really fear any steel in particular. Okay, well, I believe the owner of this knife is watching. If so, let me show it again after I clean it up a little bit more. Cool, cool blade with now a really cool edge. Mirror on mirror action. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Alrighty. Well, thank you all for joining my little fun Saturday morning sharpening session. I will see you next time.